Happy 4th of July from the Northwoods of Wisconsin. How y'all doing? Beautiful weather up here, 70 degrees, clear, sunny. Just chilling. Just chilling after that long trip. What an awesome trip to the Northwest. Almost, well, it's kind of the plains. The plains, and it's Yellowstone. I guess you could consider Yellowstone the Northwest, right? All right, who's up here? We got Jono first. Taba Pugh, Kelly loves plants, Sparkle, Paula, Organic Gal, Lady Jane, what's going on? Hi. Good to see you guys. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're surviving the smoke from Canada. Hope you're surviving the horrible tornadoes. A lot of crazy weather. Hi from Australia. Carrie, how you doing? Carrie Jones, good to see you. Emily, Matthew Craven's here. Matthew's in the house. Sheila with the roses. What's up? How you guys doing? Thought I'd just check in and say, hey, quick live from the Northwoods. Paula from Corning, California. How's the weather out there? I think California's good. How's the weather where you guys are at? Kelly's in Colorado right now, and it's beautiful. Awesome. At least there's somewhere else in the country that's got some good weather. I know in Chicago right now, I just checked radar. My son Nathan is back down there, not enjoying the weather. Happy 4th. Happy 4th to you. Yeah, 4th of July. You guys, what are you guys doing for the 4th? Are you guys shooting some fireworks off? It's almost the 4th. Sunday. It's Sunday. Los Angeles, 77 degrees. Beautiful. 102 in Vegas, Stacy says. Billings, Montana. Monica, I drove here. I think it was 16 hours straight from Billings 3 days ago. I was in Billings. That's kind of where I finished. And then I drove all the way here nonstop, 16 hours. I mean, I stopped twice. Stopped twice for gas. Billings is nice. I didn't do a story. I did a story south of Billings. I got to tell you the stories I did. So out of Billings, I was heading on 90 and I stopped by Custer's last stand, the Custer Monument, but it was not for Custer. It was for somebody else. And it was just a cemetery stop there. And then I went to do the Fetterman, the story of the Fetterman fight. You guys know the Fetterman massacre? England can't decide. Downpour. England's always raining. I'm going to come to England next summer, I hope. UK. Yeah, Monica, Houston. Yeah, so Billings. I stayed at a nice hotel there. I was very happy. Billings treated me well. Oh, this whole trip, guys, I had a cold. I was fighting at one point, like the episode when I started out in Minnesota. I did the story of the Kleeman axe murders, and I right then had 102 temperature, sinuses. I was dying, so I got through. So this trip, like almost the entire trip, I was sick, but still loved it. I have to tell you about this trip. So, Organic Gal, my dogs hate fireworks. Yeah, that's the only problem. The poor pups. I've got 2 labs, you know. Cody, the young one, could care less about the fireworks, but Sadie, the older one, she'll like sit there in the bathroom and stare at you all night. It's like creepy. She hates it. Happy 4th to Massey, California. Chloe hates fireworks too. That's Ellen. What kind of dog do you have, Chloe? Is it a female? I'm going to say it's a female Shih Tzu. Am I right? Yeah, I think it's a Chihuahua. Okay, cool. I was kind of close. Little dog. Chloe sounds like a little dog. I'm from Mellon, Wisconsin, not far from Mercer. All right, cool. I'll have to look. I haven't heard of Mellon, Wisconsin. Is that south? Is it up by 3 Lakes, or is it down towards Minocqua or Eagle River or Park Falls? Like, I haven't heard of it, but I'm in Mercer, man. So anybody in northern Wisconsin, you are loving this weather. And I got to tell you something. I finally got, I just want to do a shout out for Elon Musk. He is the best because I got Starlink. I got the equipment here a year ago. I didn't know when you buy the Starlink equipment, that's the, you know, Elon Musk system. And there's nothing that beats it. It's so fast. So we should have no buffering issues. If you got buffering, it's on your end. Because I'm on the Wi-Fi. Okay, we got Crandon, Wisconsin in the house. James McCarthy, cool. Crandon's cooler in West Texas today. Yeah, you guys are getting smoked lately. Good to hear it's cooled off. Happy 4th to you. Clayton does not like the fireworks and thunderstorms. You don't like? I love thunderstorms. Who doesn't like Who else doesn't like thunderstorms? I love, especially going to bed. I love to like hear the thunderstorms going. Yeah. Hope you guys are having a good 4th weekend nonetheless. We got Schofield in the house, Schofield, Wisconsin. I know where that is. How's it going, Sarah? Sarah's in the crochet house. Funny, when I was driving in Wyoming, there was like some cabin where they had a big crochet gathering, like Wyoming. Man, Wyoming is the coolest country. That's the first time I went through Wyoming. It's when they say it's big country, it is like, God, antelope, you're driving along and you can see for like 30 miles in every direction, mountains. Who owns all that land? That's what I kept saying. I'm driving. Who owns all that land? Is it government? I think it's big ranchers mostly, right? Yeah. Hello from Cinnaminson, New Jersey. German, long hair, German something. Hold on, let me go back. German Shepherd from Serbia. Ooh, wow, that sounds like an exotic dog. Is that like a German Shepherd? Maybe it says, you said German Shepherd. Yeah, German Shepherd. Yeah, German Shepherds. So Monica's, yes. Monica from Billings says the ranchers own it. I wonder how they got it though. Was that originally stake claims in the 1800s, land rush? Or did they just like, and there was Pathfinder Ranch. They must own millions of acres. It's got to be a corporation. And then I did run into a snag in Wyoming where they didn't let me in to do we got our signals crossed, but it was kind of like a bad situation. So I still got the filming in, but I had to do it from the fence line. They would not I had a couple situations on this trip where they're like, no, we're not going to let you film. I'm going to tell you about it. Really uncool. Hey, Cheryl D, how you doing? Cheryl D, next Sunday night is going to be our Deadwood story that you work with me on. So here's where we're at, guys. You just saw I was in Yankton, and I did the episode on the killer of Wild Bill Hickok, guy buried with the noose. Man, that video took off. That's like over 100,000 views in a couple days. That was pretty cool. You guys must have liked that. Hey, Jennifer, how's it going? Yeah, it was, and Mount Moriah in Deadwood is an epic cemetery. So listen to this, I got up there, it's tourist central, there's people crawling, there's like a line at Wild Bill Hickok's grave, Wild Bill, Calamity Jane, is like, so what I did is I went ahead of time, I got permission, and I went there at like 4:30 in the morning, and I walked to the top, almost to the top, not to the top, but pretty high section. And I just waited for the sun to come up by myself, nobody getting up that early. And I got the episode done in the morning light with not one person in the cemetery. It was serene. There's a great story of a soiled dove from Deadwood. You guys are gonna love it. So yeah, just catching up where we're at. So again, I'm in Wisconsin. The trip is over. I got like 8 episodes done, I think, total. And I'll tell you about them. So the one I did, so what we're gonna see tonight is a really cool experience for me, because a story I really wanted to do, but it was in the Black Hills on private land up in the mountains. And I was able to track down the landowner, nice family, gentleman. We had a long talk, and I said, and I think he got a good feel. So I said, yeah, I'll take you up there tomorrow morning. There is a lost graveyard cemetery. And he took, and we got the morning, no wind, morning, the sun coming up in the Black Hills. And I shot a great episode. That's tonight. You're going to love it. And it is about a fantastic book if you have time to read it. Scarlet Sky by Mark Sullivan. What's that all about? Thanks, Gail, for that referral. So I went and shot that episode that we're going to air tonight, and it's about three people. Really tough story. You know, I did a couple more of the Indian, we call you know, in the days, the Indians, that's what they were called. But, you know, I'm finding that a lot of First Nation Native Americans like to be called Indians. So maybe I'll have to back off on that and just relax with the term Indian. Alice, how do you feel about that? You're kind of in the middle, I think. But anyway, shot that episode. It's about three people who left Deadwood. They shouldn't have gone alone. They went in the spring wagon and the mule. Actually, they had oxen. And they got by Whitewood. Everybody know Whitewood's just north of Deadwood, little town. So in between Whitewood and Deadwood, Whitewood to the north, is what used to be called, and I think it still might be formally called, or it used to be called Crook City. And that's where General Crook stationed his army. And there was a town there. And the landowner gave me some real old pictures, not published, of, I got two really cool pictures of Crook City that I'm going to include tonight in the episode. And they were overtaken by a band of, I think, Sioux Oglala, and they had a big gunfight. They lost, so they got mutilated. Mutilated, you know, it goes both ways, guys. The whites were mutilating Indian babies, and they were mutilating the braves they killed, and it was both sides. Scalped, whites were scalping Indians, Indians were scalping whites. So, but I just found, you know, these are just the stories I'm happening across right now. And then from Deadwood, so I did the story that'll be next Sunday night at Mount Moriah of someone, a soiled dove. That's not a story that you've probably heard, unless you're from Deadwood. Love your shirt. I love Alaska. Maynard, yeah. Alaska, the ultimate frontier. If you read my book, there's a lot of Alaska stories in there. Happy 4th, Paige. Happy 4th to you. Happy 4th of July. So anyway, so I shot that Mount Moriah, and that'll be next Sunday night. And then I headed down there, and I shot the most unexpected episode in Rawlins. So I went down to Rawlins, Wyoming, by Cheyenne, Laramie, all that. But I just hit Rawlins for this certain story. I ended up coming up with two stories. One is of the guy, George Parrott, who was lynched, and then the two doctors got his body and they started cutting him up, and we get to see things that no one gets to see. I got the archives, they opened the safe, they brought out the artifacts of this guy, and it is a death mask, it is a skull, his skull, like, it's crazy. So that'll be the next Sunday night. And then a surprise episode there is the Wyoming prison penitentiary, which was operating until 1981, and I got to go through it. I'm going to big shout out to the people there. The director, she was awesome. She let me film a lot of stuff. Now, hopefully a lot of people view it, because I want to drive some people their way to go see it, but it's cool old territorial prison. And then the cemetery there, I shot from over the fence. So that's a fantastic story. And the ending is really creepy, because we get to see the gas chamber, the death chamber. And, you know, it looks like Captain Nemo, like submarine, like giant door. And, oh, man. And the one thing you'll see in this episode that just creeped me out, you know, standing there is this death row. In those days, you'll see there's 3 cells, and the guys would be on death row. And I don't even know if they had heat. Can you imagine the winters? And right there is where men were hanged. You know, they can look out their cell and see where the trap door is. And then off around the corner to the right is the gas chamber. And it's like, and then they have pictures of all the guys that were executed. So I got a couple of those. I didn't want to show too much. I was kind of told, you know, let's handle this as a teaser too. But yeah, I got the cemetery. So yeah, all good. And then from there, where did I go? Northbound to Cody, Wyoming, my favorite town now. Have you guys been to Cody, Wyoming? Oh my God, that is the coolest town. Leather stores, cowboy stores, uh, the famous, what's the name of the bar, restaurant? I took you in there on Instagram. Um, Buffalo Bill's daughter, Irma. It's Irma. And they do like a little show every night there, you know, a little gunfight. The actors are pretty cool. And so I had dinner there a couple nights. It's like family style, like big old, it's like you're going back in time. He built that place back in, yeah. And then across the street is where the Wild Bunch actually robbed that bank on the corner from Irma's Kitty Corner. And Kid Curry actually shot the banker and killed him right in the street there. But anyway, Cody is the gateway, the eastern gateway to Yellowstone. I don't know if you know. But yeah, happy 4th. And Rika likes horror stories, true horror stories. I know I do too. So Yellowstone is my first time to Yellowstone, and I was blown away. But I have some advice for you if you go to Yellowstone, especially like tourist time, which this is so don't come in the northern end from Montana. Come from Cody, because the sights are unbelievable, the dam and the mountains, and you come in, and that's the part of Yellowstone. There's not nearly as many people, and really, I think some of the most beautiful cliffs and mountains and deadfall and really cool stuff. So yeah, Jackson Hole, Trish Fisher, right on. I haven't been down there, but my whole focus is of the mountain men, you know, going back to the early 1800s. We have John Jacob Astor, and then we have Ashley's 100, the Rocky Mountain Trading Company, and that's where a lot of the famous mountain men like Jim Bridger and of course Hugh Glass. You guys watched the movie The Revenant, right? What got me interested in visiting graves? Uh, Jennifer, there's an episode I talk about all that. It's like questions and answers. I talk about what, you know, when I was young and how I got into all this. But yeah, it was, Yellowstone is just amazing. So I got some epic stuff, and I got bears and elk and saw some grizz, got some good footage of some waterfalls, some cool stuff. So that's going to kind of be build up. But I walked this spooky area off Yellowstone Lake to do my story of a certain mountain man. And well, I'll tell you who it is, Liver Eating Johnson. Get the book Crow Killer. Now, Crow Killer, the story about him is actually, a lot of it's fake. And I wanted to, I met a man there at the museum at Cody. They have the most unbelievable museum, Buffalo Bill Center of the West Museum. It's like 5 museums, okay? They got the gun museum, they have animals. It's the best museum I've ever been to in Cody. Guys, you gotta go to this museum. And I went to the archives there in the Kraken Library, and I met a man named Nathan Bender, who is an archivist there. Brilliant. And I got the real story on Liver Eating Johnson from him. And now there's books coming out on it. So I went, and you know what? I was going to shoot the story at his grave, but there's this place he's buried in a private, it's kind of like it's a kind of a tourist trap. It's called Trail Town. Trail Town, I think it's on the west side of Cody as you go out towards Yellowstone. And they wouldn't let me film his grave. So you got this legendary guy, and you got to pay your $12. And even paying the $12, they were like, no, you can't film. Like, it's really sad. You know, we have like heritage, legend from America, American history, mountain man, and then they would not let me like film his grave because I was going to do the episode there. And it's really tacky. It's like these cabins, like a fake town. and everything's like phony. And then they have his grave there with some other non-notable people that they made notable. Big deal. But there he's buried, like on this private little tourist trap, and you can't, it's BS. They wouldn't let me film, so nothing personal, but tacky, trappy. But that's okay, because what that made me do was say, I'm going to tell this story in Yellowstone, and it turned out 10 times better. If I would have shot at the tacky tourist trap, it would have just been an average episode. And I went to Yellowstone and did the story in this really spooky area of Deadfall on Yellowstone Lake. And I brought my shotgun with slugs, but I forgot the shoulder strap. I have what's called a road blocker. It's like this long with a big muzzle brake on the front. It's pistol. I get like 5 or 6 shots, just in case I run. And because there's grizzly bear all over the place, and they're not scared of people. So I took the chance, and it was a long episode, and I walked in there and I did the episode, and then I got out with no grizzly. Because if there was a grizzly there, he's coming towards me, you can't run. And it was barely a foot trail. I think it was a bear trail I was on. So I took a chance, but it came off fantastic. And it was the morning light, and you could see the snow-covered mountains, and we're in the spooky Deadfall area. So that's gonna be my grand finale in Yellowstone. Everything's shot, and I'm just, so the funnest part is doing the editing. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, there's lots of wildlife, lots of deer, lots of elk, grizzly, moose. I didn't see any moose this time, so anyway. Miss Piggy says brave. Yeah, well, I was there. I didn't really have a choice. Like, am I gonna do it or not? But I got lucky with the weather, because once I finished my episode, the next day all the rain started moving in Yellowstone. Autumn Layman's been to the museum. Yeah, I think it was a grizzly trail, and then maybe some people. It's a very rough little trail. So I was following it, but you could see a long way. So if there was a grizz, I could kind of see, but you never know. They could be laying down and pop up. When you see this, it's really spooky, because it's giant logs and deadfall. It's open, but there's lots of clumps and lots of hiding places. So I was taking a little bit of a chance there. And in Yellowstone, you're not supposed to, especially if you see the animal. Oh my God, some of these people, they're like, they jump out of the car, they walk right up to the animals, right? Saw a moose in Arizona, it was huge. Maynard. Is there a moose in Arizona? I didn't even know. It's probably north. What's up there? What's the North Forest? Now just escapes me. Tonto. The Tonto, did you see the moose in the Tonto Forest that are up towards Sedona, maybe? So did you know there was a guy last week was killed in Tucson area by a black bear? And it was a black bear that was in predatory, he was in the predatory mode. He was chewing on the guy, and the neighbor finally came and shot it. Big story in Tucson last week. It was about a week ago. I heard it coming back when I was driving here from Wyoming. Oh, and then that wasn't it. Then I went to Billings, right? And then on the way out of Billings, then I shot the Fetterman. I went to the Fetterman Memorial and told the whole Fetterman fight story, which is really, but the story's not about Fetterman. I key in on someone else. That's part of the story. What I think is the most intriguing part of the Fetterman massacre story that is not talked about very much. Happy 4th of July. What are you guys doing for the 4th? Right now, my son I'll give you a shot at the lake. My son is out on the water I am up here with my son Danny and his 3 buddies. So last night we had hamburgers. Tonight we're gonna have New York steaks that I'm cooking on the grill. And they're just having a great time. We played Texas Hold'em last night. I lost a little money. These guys are card sharps. whatever you want to call it. And that's a view of the lake. In fact, that's them out there. That little tiny dot. There's 4 of them out there. I wonder if they're going to go swimming. The lake is like glassy. It's glassy water. Yeah, it's just beautiful up here. Got all the windows open. So I'm just sitting on my little deck here, enjoying the beautiful weather. Give you a little look around. This is where we hang out in the evening. Just nice and calm. It's actually nice to sit out here during a thunderstorm. I like sitting out here. So I'll give you a little taste of Wisconsin. Mercer. Doesn't get any better. That's right. That's right. Thanks, Rika. Beautiful view. No, the woods are calm. Invite us for a barbecue. We'll have a meetup here. We'll have a meetup here and we'll have a big barbecue. I'll cook you guys all New York steaks. How's that? Speaking of meetup, I'm going to be this fall in October, mid-October, Rhode Island. And I'll let you guys know ahead of time, but I'm going to be speaking and doing a film at a really cool place there that relates to everything we like, cemeteries and funerals. So Northwoods in Montana is as beautiful. Yeah, I wanted to get to Butte, but I didn't make it out to Butte. I hear Butte is really amazing. Ribs and brisket for William Rogers. Okay, I'll put some aside for you. See this grill I got back here? That's called a tech grill. You can't buy that anymore. That's my baby. It gets up to like 1,000 degrees. None of this Weber turn up the dials, gets to 300 degrees and your hamburger just sits there. This thing gets so hot, it's infrared. And they got infrared, bigger tech grills you can buy now. That, I swear by that grill. I love that grill. So yeah, we'll do, it's gonna be New York steaks tonight. I can't wait. So you know what I'm doing with the boys? We're doing a lot of shooting. Now, if you don't like guns, then you don't like me. But yesterday we did this thing called the dueling ring. Basically, it's a pole that goes in the ground, and you have 6 targets. They're cast iron, and they're on a pivot, and they go like that. They swing, and you color 3 of them. You know, you color one side white, and I colored the other side green, and then you take 3 of them, and you spin them on that side, and then the other 3 on that side, and then you have 2 guys with a pistol, and you go 1, 2, 3, go. And each guy is trying to shoot those because you hit the target and it swings over to the other guy. And if you can push them all over on that side, then you win. So we did that last night. And then tonight we're going to do Annie Oakley. Do you guys know who Annie Oakley is? This woman shooter. She was part of the Buffalo Bill show. Annie Oakley. So we called Annie. If you guys, shotgun guys, the game Annie Oakley, everybody gets a box of 25 shells, and it's like the game of horse in basketball, where you take a shot, take a hard shot, and if you hit it, then everyone has to take that shot, and if they miss, they got to keep using their shells until they hit it. You could the last person with shells wins. And then tomorrow night, we are going to do the sniper contest. And again, it's them 4 guys. I'm not in it. That's just for them. I'm kind of like the camp guide. So we're gonna do precision shooting with the Night Force scope, and I've got ultra precision rifles that can shoot like a mile. You can like hit something this big, crazy stuff, just for targets, just for fun. And then in between, boating and fishing, and man, there's lots to. They went on the ATVs yesterday on the muddy trails, and one of the boys got stuck, and then they had to use the winch. They came back covered with mud and mosquito bites. Like in the woods, you go in these woods, they'll carry you out. So you don't want to get stuck on the ATV, because if you get stuck on the ATV, then that's when the mosquito, as long as you're moving, they can't get you. And the horse flies, the deer flies are the worst. You guys from Wisconsin, though. Trish Fisher's not into guns. Yeah, a lot of people aren't into guns. That's cool. Vicky says I'm the ultimate camp host. Monica from Billings likes skeet shooting. Yeah, that's what we're going to do tonight. That's what we're gonna do tonight. Yeah, I'm not obsessed with guns, but it's fun. It's fun to shoot. It's like games. As long as you're following gun safety, very important. So we had a big instructional class on gun safety. But yeah, so what are you guys doing the 4th? Anybody? My kids live in Billings. Autumn Lehman. Cool. Yeah, like I said, Billings is a great. How's the fishing been? Oh, fishing was great. Okay, so before the guys came up, Danny and I got some one-on-one time, and we took my boat to a place called the Turtle Flowage. I call it the Turdette, and it's a big reservoir lake. And we got 3 walleyes, we got 2 northern pikes, we got a rock bass and a smallmouth bass. So I'd say we did pretty good. And we found some new cool spots. Anybody like fishing? Alaska stories. Yeah, I've got some Alaska stories in my book. Picnic burgers and dogs for me. Oh, I love it. Yeah, we had that last night, William. We had William Rogers. We had hot dogs and burgers. I had steak burgers for the boys last night on my grill. Susan. Yes, Clayton. Walleyes are the best. Actually, this time we threw all the fish back. I did not. Tennessee Nate, I do driving videos and other things. Cool. And Brenda likes fishing. Looking for like Wisconsin Trooper. Yeah, maybe that's because of the sunglasses, right? Yeah, I love the outdoors. So tonight, like the evenings here, 55 degrees. Talk about great sleeping weather. So I got this cabin in the woods, real log cabin, built by hand. Actually, Nathan apprenticed, this was last summer. And it's 2 bunk beds, a small, just single room cabin. And that's where the boys slept last night. They loved it. Hubby only fishes for walleyes. Yeah, I don't blame him. Those are the best eating. Actually, I do like the bass though. I make a beer battered fish fry. Did you guys ever have beer butt chicken? Beer butt chicken. You take a beer can, put it up the chicken's butt, and you put it on the grill, and it cooks from the inside out. It's the best. I should do that sometime soon. Need a Weber grill for that. It's kind of messy. But yeah, we're having fun. Kathy McGlasson likes catfish. Catfish? I don't think I've ever had catfish. Pamela likes fishing and grilling. Good morning. Good morning, Cecil. And Midway Farms likes the channel. That's awesome. Yeah, keep history alive. I throw spiders outside rather than kill them. Where did that come from? Who's that? That's Whit Durkins, a spider lover. Jess Ruby's a Wisconsin girl. What part of Wisconsin? So you guys all like fishing, it looks like. I have had it good, and I've had beer can chicken. Paula, we call it beer butt chicken. But yeah, I guess it's beer can chicken. Doesn't take much of a cook to make that, but it turns out good. I'm gonna do that next time I come up here. I'm gonna get a setup for the beer butt chicken. Betsy, where are you catching catfish? Oh, somebody doesn't like fishing. We finally got one. What are you doing on the 4th, guys? You're talking about spiders, talking about can't kill anything. What are you doing for the 4th? I want to know. You know what I'm doing. I just told you about my trip. When you're hungry, you'll eat almost anything. Well, I'll agree with that. Any updates on the graves? Paula, you mean the headstones and stuff? Trish Fisher's packing. What's Flo doing? Flo just says hi. Hi, Flo. Yeah, it's always a good morning when I catch fish, Cecil, for sure. Sequoia National Park, James Burns is going to. That's up north of San Francisco, right? Oh, I've been up there. But I haven't been in the Sequoia part. I was north river rafting many years ago up there. Hanging with in-laws in Glendive, Montana. Is it MT? Is that Montana? Trish leaves for the UK Thursday. Oh man, you got to Instagram. Text me like where you're going. Send me some pictures. Tell me if it's good. Linda Schallbeck's done the beer butt chicken. Right on. 4th of July, just a day down under. Yeah, I guess in Australia, people don't care about the 4th of July because that's our holiday. Never lost the taste, Forest Lover said. Joe Bixrud will be celebrating a 30th anniversary, married on the 4th. Oh, wow. That's very cool. You're married on the 4th of July. Cheryl spending the 4th at work. What? You're joking. What do you do? Cheryl, I don't even know what you do for a living. Are you like a cop or something? Trish will be in Bristol. Your husband's from Somerset. Oh, cool. I can tell you about Tameside and Manchester. Tameside, I probably butchered that. How do you say Tameside in Britain? That's my only problem. When I go to England, I go to UK and I'm doing videos, you guys are gonna rip my teeth out for all the, I'm gonna say Thames instead of River Thames. I'm gonna go, I'm gonna do that on purpose. I'm gonna go, the Thames River. By the way, you know how to get comments? They say that if you get a lot of comments, it helps your video. So I have a new trick. Once in a while, I'm gonna and a video that I don't think is gonna do well, I'm gonna purposely mispronounce a word. So I did the ultimate gaffe, which is pretty funny. So in the story about Merton Eastlick, instead of saying emaciated, I twice said emancipated. Oh my God, did I get? And I even put in the comments pinned, I said, stop sign alert before you comment. I meant to say emaciated, okay? And then in the description, but like everywhere I could, and I just got like hundreds of I think you meant emaciated. I know. So it's like, oh my God, but I probably got 500 extra comments on that video, which probably drove the ratings up for that video, just because I mispronounced that word. The fish needs to be steamed. Yeah, steamed fish is good. But I like, catch a bass. I used to catch bass, catch 4 nice bass, smallmouth, and then I'd fillet them. Those nice fillets, and then beer battered, deep fry them. Appetizers, like little chunks, little tartar sauce, little dip. But yeah, steamed fish, that's good. That's like a dinner thing. Massive thunderstorms in Kentucky. Yeah, I saw that. Tammy Jacobson, I didn't comment about emancipated, but you yelled at the TV. Hey, Flo, $50. Thank you so much. We got to get, speaking of that, where's that money going? Like I say, we're still in debt. But okay, so quick update on the stones. Jennifer Lewis has not been able to film the stone that was put in Auburn, New York, upstate New York, where the Keller family for the little Verena girl, because of the smoke. It's been like she's wearing an inhaler. It's like really bad in New York, I guess, still in the rain. And so we're going to get a video on that. The stone, I think, might come out in October, the $9,000 monument for the boy whose father was killed, or the boy who was Joshua Woods, his father's stone. So that's coming maybe in October from Troost. And then we've got the Gacy victim. And that we're still getting our wires crossed on that. They're trying to find, we had marked where his unmarked grave was. Now the cemetery can't find it. They're calling me, and it's like, just talk to Greg. If you're anybody from Oak Ridge Cemetery, Glen Oak, Greg and Cooey out there, they know where the grave is of the Gacy victim that we bought a stone for. So please, get together with the office and put that stake in the ground, and let's get, so that's paid for. All these things are paid for. And then we have Vanessa out in LA, Jeanette Stevens, we paid for that, and we're kind of getting jacked around on that one. That's going to be a story once it gets in, but we're playing nice right now, waiting for that stone. So they're all paid for. It takes forever to get these stones. And I think we have one other stone. Remind me, what am I forgetting? We got little Willie from the Eastland disaster. That stone is in. I think I showed you guys that. Hope you can do Israel Keys, serial killer. I don't even know that story. Israel Keys? Who's that? Israel Keys. Yeah, Israel Keys, serial killer. I don't know who that is. Have a great time. We love here in SNJ Philly area. Cool. Yeah, I've got a lot of stuff to do in Pennsylvania. I got a long list there. I was hoping to get there this summer, but it's not working out. Would you do video on Virginia Freeman? Who's Virginia Freeman? Send me an email or text on Instagram. When are you coming to Pennsylvania? Maybe next summer. Maybe this fall. I don't know. I don't have any, like right now, it's going to be an episode a week only. No, but it's going to be Sunday night epic stuff. And that's about it. Maybe for a month. I don't know. I'm slowing down right now, and then I'll speed up again when I feel like it. We're kind of in the, I'm kind of in the transition area, you know. I got the rent a house, moving up here, moving to Arizona, trying to get all this stuff out of Chicago. By next year, I'm totally out of Chicago. A lot of bad stuff happening in Chicago. I have to tell you, one of the boys out there, one of the friends, he got mugged. Listen to this. And they told me, and they all like, you didn't hear the story? And I'm like, and by the way, there's a serial killer in Chicago killing young men in their early 20s, and they keep finding them in the Chicago River. I think there's 23 or 20 something boys killed. But one of the other boys, I don't know if it was a few weeks ago, they come back from the bars and they're walking alone. This is Wrigleyville, North Side. And 2, 3 in the morning, and one of them, this guy comes out of the alley with a bag, and he has a real gun, and he puts it in this kid, one of our friends' stomach. And this guy is a basketball player. He's 6'5", freaking strong, and he probably should have just given him the stuff, but he just grabbed the guy's wrist and spun him around, threw him to the ground, practically broke his arm, broke his neck. Another guy came over, called the police, and I don't know if they beat the crap out of him, but the young man got arrested. I mean, he could have been shot and killed. So it's like everybody out of Chicago, man. I don't, like, my son had an apartment downtown there on the north side by Wrigleyville, and it's just so dangerous. It's terrible. And the mayor, I don't want to get into the whole thing, but it's like, it's out of control. Out of control. I heard yesterday a bunch of thugs went on the speedway and just like we're driving around the speedway at night or something. Yeah, Chicago's messed. It's a messed up place, guys. Sorry to say. Hopefully it gets better. I was related to a killer outlaw. Who was that? Is it from that's Tennessee Nate. You were related, or are you related? How could you say you was related? Either you're related or you're not. You can't, like, was related. Maybe that's what you meant. Okay, I'm in the house now. Maybe the Wi-Fi was disconnecting. I don't know. You know, this is YouTube. This is what we. Yeah, I know. You know, this is YouTube. This is what we get. This is why I'm not doing live streams very much, because if you don't have a Wi-Fi connection, YouTube is terrible. So I'm in the house now. I think maybe I was losing Wi-Fi. I don't know. But I have Starlink, so there's no excuse. I got Elon Musk's Starlink, and everything's like really fast, except for uploading. Uploading is not that fast. Oh, thank you. Yeah, we're in the house now. We're in the cabin. We're in my cabin. Bum, bum, bum. Sound is cutting out. How's it now? Garlic is good to keep ticks away. I hate ticks. Thanks, William. Thank you. Cozy cabin. Well, I thought I would just say hi for 4th of July and check in, tell you about my trip. So what's going to happen is I'm going to have the episode tonight, and then it's just going to be Sunday nights. Although when I get back to Chicago, I'll probably find some stories in Chicago. I do have a few stories, probably. I say one a week, but I'll probably have more. Jennifer from Kalamazoo is getting good signal. Okay, yeah. Oh, 1016 Brina, finally on a live stream. Awesome. Glad you were able to catch me. So I'm going to sign off here, I think. I just wanted to say hi from the Northwoods and Starlink. Yeah, Elon Musk, thank you. Thank you for saving my life. The dogs are at home. I'm by myself with my with my son Danny and his 3 friends. But I'm heading back on the 4th of July. I'm going back to Chicago. So I got to go early because I got to go through Minocqua. I got to get past the parades. Once the parades start, you're not getting through. All right, guys, have a good 4th, okay? I'm going to sign off. So I will see you tonight, hopefully the premiere. So tonight is about, in the Black Hills, we found a lost cemetery with where these 3 people are buried that were killed on the trail. Really good story from Black Hills, South Dakota. Love South Dakota. And then we hit Wyoming. And then we hit Montana, we hit Yellowstone. So the next month is going to be just every Sunday night, epic episode. And then we'll get back to the usual stuff, all right? So be safe. It was great seeing you. Thanks for hanging out with me for this 45 to 50 minutes and hanging out with me at my cabin. The boys are all out there. I might go just taking a little nap right now, just because I can. All right, I'll see you guys later. Have a good 4th. Happy 4th of July.